is the Charming Giraffe, and today we are going to test some more pouring medium. Today's pouring medium will be the DecoArt Pouring Medium. Here's what the bottle looks like. I apparently got a drip. It has all the instructions here. I know you probably can't read it from there, so I will kind of give you the brief version here. Mix the paint slowly to avoid creating air bubbles. I don't do that. I mix as fast as I want. It has some general guidelines, a 2:1 paint to medium ratio for fluid acrylics. For craft acrylics, use 1:1. And then for medium body acrylics, use a 1:3. So 1 part paint to 3 parts pouring medium. This is about a 50% ratio that I did here. My biggest issue was that it really wasn't kind of like transparent or clear. It was white. So like with this red, this probably is more paint than 50%, because I was trying to get it closer to the actual color. And as you can see, there is some difference there, and that took me a little bit of like adding extra paint than I normally would have. It happened on nearly all the colors. I would probably say this amethyst, and I lied, that was called ruby, not red. But this amethyst was probably the closest one that I didn't have to continue to add more to. But it could have been by that point I had already kind of judged how much I needed to use. But even like this gold, yes, it is called gold, 24 karat gold. It did the same thing. Like, it's definitely like duller. So it was a little bit of a trick to keep the consistency right with the colors correct. So the colors we are using are ruby, 24 karat gold, emerald, sorry, I don't have enough hands, a sapphire, amethyst, and rose quartz. Those are our 6 colors. So about a 50-50 ratio, maybe a little bit off from that, just based off of the color, trying to get the color to adjust properly. Again, this is DecoArt Pouring Medium, and all of our paints are DecoArt Extreme Sheen paints, because that was the only DecoArt paint that I had. I'm trying to keep them together for the first round of testing. I've used about half the bottle, I would say, and I do have another bottle. This was the 16-ounce bottle. Got it on Amazon. So we are using an 8x10 canvas today. This is a pour over. So I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, and I think I made a decision. I'm going to do 2 cups here. I liked the way a painting came out that we did a while back. It was with the Artist Loft pouring medium, and we did a tree ring on one side and a flip cup on the other. So that's what we're going to do again today. I really like the way it came out. On the instructions for this, oh, this is really thick compared to the others. We'll see how that turns out. Apparently I used more paint and less pouring medium in that one. On the instructions, sorry, I lost my train of thought when that happened. It says to let it set to dissipate the air bubbles. So I plan to just do this one painting here today and let these all sit in their cups and let the air bubbles dissipate. I expect that this will create air bubbles given I just mixed them. And then tomorrow we'll do it again with the paint setting so that in theory there's no air bubbles, and we'll see how that goes. So I'm going to let that sit while the paint dribbles down, and we'll do the tree ring over here. I am very worried about that blue. I might actually add some more pouring medium to that blue. This is gorgeous. Before I let it set overnight, because I'm concerned because of its thickness. I hope I have enough. I'm typically the one that always has too much, so I was trying to make sure we had enough this time. I'm gonna scoot that forward, and actually let me just move all of this to the side so we have plenty of room, and I'll make sure that I'm in frame. All right, also compared to my other pouring mediums, I did not strain with the strainer any of these paints or the medium or anything. I just poured it straight out of the bottle into the cup. I poured this in first, and then I poured the paint, and for that I just unscrewed the cap. It had separated a little bit. I've had all these paints for a little bit of time. I think probably this one's the one I've had most recently. So it did kind of separate in the container, so I just kind of shook it for a little bit, and then I didn't worry about popping the cap off. I just poured it in that way because I knew I was going to need like half of it. But I do plan to try this pouring medium with other acrylic paint, not just their DecoArt, to see how it is. I'm definitely concerned I might not have enough paint here. We'll start tilting and see what happens. If we need to add more, we've got more. Clearly. Let's torch it real quick and see if anything cool happens. Oops. Okay, alright. Now let's tilt. I definitely like the tree ring side. I'm trying to kind of get it moving together. The reds and yellow took over a little bit so far. Let's see what happens as we continue to stretch it. I'm going very slowly in order to try to maintain the paint, because if I go too fast, a whole bunch will tilt off, and we don't have a lot to spare. So, well, we have extra in the cup, but we don't have a lot on here to spare, so trying to go at a nice slow pace. I had no black or white in this, so it's definitely colorful. Where's all my paint going? It's okay. We're almost done here with the tilting portion. Okay, do the edge right there. And it's really cool. I definitely like the tree ring side better because I've got like all this red here. I tilt it just a little bit more like this just to get rid of a little bit of that red. Alright, I am happy with that. Absolutely gorgeous. It almost looks like an entire tree ring. It just kind of lost its rings on this side. I will torch it again and bring you in for close-up. Alright, here we are for the close-up. Given that I had just mixed these, there's really not a whole lot of cells from the air bubbles, so if you don't like cells, I think this would be a good pouring medium for you. Considering I kind of tried and didn't get them, and I torched it, and that typically helps. There is a little bit coming up on this side here, which was the flip cup side, and it's all the blue, so it was the denser paint, so it's kind of unique there, which makes sense because it would sink to the bottom, and if there's air bubbles in it, maybe that's pushing it back up to the top. But yeah, not a whole lot of crazy cells like I normally like to get. But really pretty. You can see in this corner here how shiny that extreme sheen paints are, how that light hits it. So We will be back tomorrow to do this again, but with the paint setting overnight, and then we will do a how do they dry video before the end of the week. Let me know what you think about this painting in the comments below. I want to thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, and it makes you happy.